Wait a minute, did that monster just shoot a rainbow at its back? And did that rainbow just blow up those missile launchers? This is fucking stupid. Alright, so this is Gamera vs. Barugon, the second Gamera movie and the first in color. It takes place a year and a half after the events of Gamera the Giant Monster, in which the Japanese Self-Defense Force has found a way to defeat Gamera by, spoiler alert for the first movie, trapping him in a giant capsule that's attached to a rocket and then just send him to Mars. Trust me, that's not the weirdest thing that's happened in this original series. So, the rocket is on its way to Mars. It collides with an asteroid. The rocket blows up, freeing Gamera, who heads back to Earth and destroys a dam in order to replenish his power. Then we cut to a group of mercenaries who are headed to this island that one of them visited during the war to hide a gem. The natives warn them not to go because if they take the gem, it'll unleash a terrible curse. But they go anyway, they find the gem, but the guy who found the gem during the war gets killed by a scorpion. And then one of the guys steals the gem for himself and tries to kill the other guy but fails. On the ship ride back to Japan, the guy who stole the gem accidentally leaves it in an infrared light, and it turns out the gem is an egg, and from the egg hatches this little tiny lizard with glowing eyes. And then faster than the lifespan of a xenomorph, the little lizard breaks out of the boat and turns into a full-sized monster called Barugon and starts rampaging across Osaka. So the other survivor, along with one of the native girls, head to Japan to figure out how to stop the monster. And where's Gamera in all this? Well, he pops up in the 45-minute mark to fight Barugon, and then he pops up again in the last 7 minutes to fight Barugon again. So yeah, it's kind of dumb that the title monster doesn't even show up that much. And what makes it even worse is that they practically forget that Gamera even exists. They don't talk about Gamera. They're always shocked when Gamera pops up. It's just, with this movie, you can clearly tell that Dai did not find their groundwork when it came to distinguishing the Gamera series from the Godzilla series over at Toho. And even though it has two monsters, it takes a while to get things going. The movie can actually be kind of boring, because while the characters are actually a little more proactive in this movie than they were in the last one, they still aren't that very interesting, and the actors don't have that much charisma to carry the film. But when the monster fights actually do happen, you're like, oh right, Gamera's here, he's gonna fight Barugon, and the first fight in Osaka is just them sizing each other off, circling each other. It's just really not that exciting. I mean, I can demonstrate it for you right now. Just here's how the fight goes. I also should probably address the elephant in the room, considering the whole Barugon and Baragon comparison. I'm just going to go this really quickly. Outside the fact that they both have a horn and Barugon's name is just a letter away from being Baragon's name, I think these two monsters have absolutely nothing in common. They don't look anything alike. They don't have the same powers. It's just, I don't know why some people, mainly James Rolfe, I don't know why he says that Barugon is a complete ripoff of Baragon, because they don't look a thing alike. And as for the monster Barugon, he's basically just a giant lizard with a horn. He does have some unique abilities, like he can extend his tongue to destroy buildings. The tip of the tongue can actually be used to freeze things, which is kind of cool. And then, as I mentioned in the intro, he shoots rainbows at his back that blow stuff up on contact. I know I said it's stupid, and that's saying a lot given that the title monster of this series is a giant fire-breathing flying turtle. But it just gets to a point where, like, you gotta have a limit. It's just like, come on, that's a little too stupid. So yeah, there isn't really much about Gamera vs. Barugon that I can really recommend. What monster scenes that are in the movie are enjoyable to watch, because there's always a charm to seeing two guys in rubber suits fighting each other or destroying the city. But even then, they're not that exciting, and the actors and characters can't really help save the movie either. So This is one of the movies that I don't recommend. It's not awful. I mean, with all these Gamera movies, they're very light. They're inoffensive. It's just they don't really try to distinguish themselves from Godzilla, at least not yet. So for Gamera vs. Barugon, I'm gonna say don't waste your money on this. It's really not that interesting of a movie, and the fact that it's the longest of the original Gamera movies definitely helps intensify the boredom. So that's my review for Gamera vs. Barugon, and I'd like to make a little note before I sign off. Some of these Gamera movies are actually available on YouTube. They're full cut, mainly the English dub. So in the description, I'm going to put a link to those movies if you want to check them out for yourselves. I don't know if the Gamera vs. Barugon is one of those movies, but I definitely know the next movie is one of those that is on YouTube. But until then, leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie if you've seen it. Like, subscribe, go check out my video blog channel. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462, follow me on Instagram at TheRealMrRobinson, and go like my Facebook page /TheRealMrRobinson. Don't forget to check out my written movie reviews on Geeked Out Nation. And this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.